Speaking of Game 7, the Rockets looking to complete a comeback from 3-1 down against the Warriors in Game 7 tonight in Houston. So let's go by the numbers. Fred VanVleet has been lights out from behind the arc, shooting 67% on three-pointers over the past 3 games. He's made 18 three-pointers, the most in a 3-game span in Rockets postseason history. And Steph Curry over the same span, not cooking, averaging just under 20, shooting below 40% from the field, including 1 for 7 in the fourth of Game 6. But the chef has stepped up in Game 7s in his career. Curry dropping 50 in his last Game 7 against the Kings in 2023, becoming the first player in NBA history to score 50 points in a 7th game. 13-year NBA vet Quentin Richardson and Anscape's senior writer David Dennis Jr. back with us. David, we got a young and hungry team here playing at home against some vets who have been there, done that. So what's going to be the key to win this win or go home game?
It's about the 2 best players, about Batman and Robin for the Warriors, about Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler. As you just mentioned, the Rockets have hounded Steph for the last 3 games or so, but we need that 50-point Steph Curry that we got in that Kings series a few years ago, and we need that same Jimmy Butler that went into Boston and won a Game 7 and almost won another Game 7 the year prior to that, because really the Warriors are running out of players. Pods, Buddy Hield, Gary Payton II have been negatives in these last couple of games. They're running out of options and people to make open threes. It's got to be Steph and Jimmy Butler taking over offensively, and Jimmy Butler taking over offensively and defensively for the Warriors to have a shot in this Game 7.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. On the flip side, David, man, the Rockets, they need Jalen Green. They need that 38-point game player that he was in, I think, Game 2. And listen, Şengün has been consistent. He's been the guy. He's been delivering for them and doing what he's supposed to do. But VanVleet, these last 3 games, he's been the difference maker. He's been averaging upward of like 27, 30 points, and he's been the guy that's been pushing and driving force for them because Jalen Green hasn't been able to. But if they want to win this Game 7, they're going to need a big game out of Jalen Green, and they got to have the consistency they've been getting from Şengün and VanVleet.
All right, so the moment of truth over here, we got to pick this game. So, David, who wins?
Man, there's a very fine line between experience and old. I'm going to lean with experience and the Warriors. I hope that carries them and they don't go out there looking old in Game 7. I think with Jimmy, Steph, Draymond, they find a way to pull this thing out.
Yeah, I'm with Double D. I got to go with the Warriors here. I got to go with the experience, and there's no way I'm going to bet against that little light-skinned dude, number 30, right now in the Game 7.
I feel that, man. The Rockets are attempting to win their 3rd series when trailing 3-1. The game tips off at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So for a Game 7 to a Game 1, Pacers-Cavaliers begin their series today. Q, how can the Cavs make their first conference finals appearance since 2018?
Spider Mitchell got to be big time. I think he's a first-team All-NBA this year. He's led this team this far, and they've had one of the best records in the NBA. He's shown that he has the ability to turn it on and take over when they needed to. Now they're in the big dance, man. This is what they've been playing for the whole season, to get to these playoffs, to get to the promised land and to prove who they are and what they can do. This is the biggest stage. I feel like they got all of the pieces. They got a deep team, and he's at the head of the snake. I think they have a big series from him, and he leads the way.
Absolutely with you with the Donovan Mitchell, but it's the overall offense of that Cavs, I think, led by Mitchell, as you mentioned, Q, going out there and executing that half-court offense. That's one of the best half-court offense that we've seen in NBA history. What we know is that Pacers team is going to try to run you off the three-point line, but that leaves them kind of vulnerable in the paint. You have to attack that defense, get some shots, and make the Pacers pull the ball out of the hoop and get into their own half-court offense, because you don't want that Pacers team flying up and down the court. And one of the ways they do that is make you miss shots, get rebounds, and get in transition. Get in that half-court offense and execute, and the Cavs should be able to win this series.
Yeah, and to your point, Double D, the Pacers are 3-1 versus the Cavs this season, and they have seen that side of them, the Cavs. The game tips at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Some real poise on the road in the game that could end their season. Curry turns it over. Green down the other end, throws it down.
The person who wants the ball more will get it, and right now it seems as if they want it more.
Butler throws it right to Şengün. Back to Van Vliet, puts up a three. It's good. Van Vliet's not hot. He's scalding right now.
This is shocking.
Rockets dominating here in the fourth. Disappointing night for Steph Curry.
Now, out of all times, it's win or go home. So it's on us to make sure we get it done.
Man, the stage is set. Experience versus youth. Game 7 tonight in Houston. Rockets 2.5-point favorites over the Warriors. You got the Eastern Conference. The Cavs host the Pacers in their second round series. Cleveland favored by 7.5. Game 1 is a minus 500, of course, to win the series. So with that, we bring in ESPN Bet, Aaron Dolan, to dole us out some winners here. Let's start with the Rockets, the Warriors. Game 7, what do you like for playing in that?
I'm going to go under 205.5 and really buying into the Game 7 narrative of unders typically cashing. Now, it didn't happen yesterday in Clippers-Denver, but the unders in Game 7s have cashed nearly over 60% of the time in the last 2 decades, also going 14-6 straight up since, of course, that happened since 2019. Now, in this series, we've seen the adjustment really come down from Game 1. It was 213.5 all the way down to now 205.5. I do believe this will be a slower paced game, so I'm going to go under 205.5. Also looking at Steph Curry to go over his par prop, which has come up from 37.5 to 38.5. He's averaging 33 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists in 5 Game 7s in his career. His par prop for this series is seen as low as 34.5, and now, of course, in this game as high as 38.5, because people are obviously relying on the experience of Steph Curry, and I'm buying into that as well. So I'll take him over his par prop and under for the game.
Okay, so then we go from a Game 7 to a Game 1. What's the play you like in that Pacers-Cavs?
So I'm looking at Cavs in the first half, minus 4.5. So these teams played 4 times during the regular season, and if you look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, they were up by an average of 8 points at the half. This Cavs team's also 3-1 ATS in the first half versus Miami, so they've been starting out quick, and this is also something they did in the regular season and one of my favorite bets for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So considering this is Game 1 at home, they've played one less game, I'll go with the Cavs in the first half, minus 4.5. Also looking at Tyrese Halliburton to go under 17.5 points. He only hit over this mark twice against Milwaukee, and I do think if Cleveland's going to do anything, they're going to try to slow down Tyrese Halliburton. And of course, you're looking at this game thinking, okay, well, 2 of the best offenses, 2 teams that play in a quick pace, so you're going to look for points props and think to go over, but I'm going to go a different angle and think they will limit him in Game 1, so I'll go under 17.5.
Okay, there you have it. Erin Dolan with her best bet.
Chào các bạn nha, mình là Tô Tự, người Tô Tự lắm, mega.